Hello and welcome to Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. I am your host, Mikhail Tinubu. It's Wednesday, and that's how we roll. We have sports news this morning because we never sleep, because sports itself never sleeps. We're starting with a bit of FIFA news. Then we'll talk about Conte, because I know a lot of people have been talking about what the new manager of Tottenham Hotspur brings to the club. Obviously, we'll talk about Djokovic, because the tennis great never ceases to amaze. We start with FIFA. Former FIFA officials said Blatter and Platini have been charged with fraud following a 6-year investigation into a payment of 2 million Swiss francs from FIFA to Platini. The pair could now face trial, with both denying any wrongdoing. They claim the payment was agreed 20 years ago, with Platini being paid a backdated additional salary for advising Blatter during his first term as FIFA president from 1998 to 2002. The Office of the Attorney General of Switzerland, however, alleged that an annual compensation of 300,000 Swiss francs was agreed in a written contract in 1999, not 2 million. I have Sayo Oguntoye with me this morning.
Good morning to you, Mikhail Tinubu. It's good to be here.
Thank you for joining me. It's obvious that there's something fishy, has been fishy, was fishy under Blatter. The relationship between he and Platini seemed to be so close, unusually close, for two men leading two different footballing administrations. Now, a 6-year investigation that has now culminated into these charges. Are we seeing the downfall of perhaps the greatest FIFA president in history of the administration?
Yes, it's no longer history that Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini has been charged with fraud, and I think it's a very, very welcome development when it comes to discipline or charges being administered to these culprits. And I think as it stands now, it's justice for football, victory for football at the end, because we've had so lot about them when it comes to corruption, giving hosting rights to countries that do not really seemingly deserve to be hosting competition. So I think all in all, I think it's a very, very welcome development, and it's justice and victory for football at the end.
Next year's Qatar World Cup seems to have been the spark that ignited the downturn in fortunes for Blatter and Michel Platini. Unfortunately, it didn't seem to take away the World Cup from Qatar. But these two men, have they irrevocably damaged the reputation of their two institutions?
Well, to an extent, yes, because if you look at it, I did mention earlier that giving hosting rights to countries who are not seemingly worthy of hosting. Now, the World Cup next year will be played in the winter because, usually June, July is very, very hot in Qatar, which makes it, difficult to play under those conditions. And this happened, they knew all of this before giving Qatar the hosting rights. So all of this also happened because money exchanged hands, and it only brings down the credibility of UEFA and FIFA at the end. So, taking them out, bringing Infantino in, I think it was just the only way forward.
Speaking of corruption, credibility is so very important for the administrators of institutions such as these. Because the next story we're going to talk about, Antonio Conte, he was once upon a time accused of match fixing. When the administrators of the governing bodies that are supposed to keep track of such incidences are themselves corrupt, how can we trust that football can eliminate the corruption, the match fixing, the briberies, the scandals that have now, because of these two men, become so much more prevalent?
Well, to a greater extent, football cannot, stay outside of corruption, match fixing, scandals. It can only reduce it to the barest minimum. I'll give an example. That Chelsea Barcelona scandal at Stamford Bridge is a very, very good example. Then UEFA was seen as a very, very corrupt entity, and UEFA then was also possibly behind Barcelona's favor. So looking at this, they've had antecedents showing that they are indeed a corrupt body, but it has reduced in our time. It has reduced in recent years, and it's just a way to say so sorry for the past errors or for the past administration, what they have done, and we are looking to move forward in better form.
Can FIFA ever regain the trust it has lost?
Yes, they can. It takes time. It takes time to, build what has been shattered. It takes time to actually rebuild your credibility. Yes, they can if they keep doing the right things like this.
Now, on to Antonio Conte. He will reportedly be given £150 million transfer war chest to turn things around at Tottenham. Conte was appointed by Tottenham Hotspur as new manager until the summer of 2023 on Tuesday, November 2nd, a day after sacking Nuno Espirito Santo. Former Chelsea and Inter Milan boss Conte replaces Nuno, who was sacked after 17 matches in charge, with last weekend's 3-0 home defeat to Manchester United in the league, his final game with Spurs. The Italian is understood to have a long-term relationship with the club's director of football, Fabio Paratici. Conte had been out of work since terminating his contract at Inter in May, shortly after he led them to their first Serie A title in 11 years last season. Tottenham did not make any big signings in the summer, but may now be set to do so in the winter transfer window. Conte's first game in charge will be Thursday's Conference League match at home to Vitesse Arnhem. Now, Espirito didn't seem to have the full trust of the board. He wasn't given any serious transfer war chest like Conte seems to be reportedly going to get. Sayo, what does it say about Tottenham that now they've gone after Conte, even though they didn't trust the previous manager with the same money that might have been necessary to build up the club to prevent the downturn they suffered?
Is a serial winner. Is a serial winner. Out of his last 7 league titles, he has won 5 of them. Well, I'm not seeing him to win the Premier League this season. I'm not also expecting him to win any trophy with Tottenham this season, because Tottenham themselves have a whole lot of problems. Looking at take out Kane, take out Son, and they have the rest are. They have their own problems. I don't very badly. I mean, he has played United, he has played Arsenal, he has played all the top 6 except Liverpool, and he's just 4 points behind the top 4. So he's not a bad coach. He's a decent. That shows you that serious. I think United needed. It is what it is for United right now.
The margin of error is obviously very slim this season. So even a manager as good as Espirito Santo must suffer the consequences of such slim margins. What I find interesting about this whole story is that in the summer, Conte was their first choice, but he refused to come. Perhaps for the very same reason why Santo has failed now, because they were unwilling to give him any transfer war chest. Now he has come. There's a report that if he wins a trophy in the next 18 months, he will get a significant bonus.
Yeah. See that Tottenham right now, it needs I did mention, take out those 3 players, Son, Kane, and Loris. I mean, they do not have a world-class player there. So they need to get players. There is no magic any coach can do. And as regards Conte coming, he rejected Tottenham because he never saw any ambition in Tottenham. He rejected Tottenham. But he actually opened up again because he felt United were calling, but United was only flattered to deceive. And he has opened his heart to coaching again.
Well, £150 million used to be such a big war chest. You got £150 million maybe 5-10 years ago, and it was like you were going to go into the market and buy a fresh new 11. But $150 million doesn't do what it used to. What are the chances he's going to get any additional big name players, world-class players, to come in and improve with the possibility that Kane might still leave in the summer?
Yeah, Kane has frustrated figure at the moment. You score a whopping amount of goals in a season, and yet you do not have anything to show for it. I mean, only thing Kane has is individual awards. It's not enough for a player of his caliber. So I think, like you said, 150 million is not even enough, but they can get decent players. They cannot get what they can get players who want to play, play out their heart. So it's a starting point. Like I did said also, I'm not expecting Conte to win anything for them this season. They should just finish, in the top 4. Possibly, Conte can do that, yes. But getting them to a title, I cannot say.
Well, it's Champions League week. So Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp on Tuesday, November 2nd, downplayed the significance of Atletico Madrid boss Diego Simeone's refusal to shake hands after their last Champions League match, insisting he had nothing but respect for his opposite number. Liverpool beat Atletico 3-2 in Madrid last month, with Simeone appearing to snub Klopp's attempted handshake after the game, sprinting down the tunnel instead with the German coach waving behind him. Simone has since made clear he never shakes hands with his opposite number after games and meant no disrespect to Klopp. Klopp said he expected an intense physical battle at Anfield, where a win would seal group leaders Liverpool's progress to the knockouts rounds. Atletico are second in Group B, level on 4 points with third-placed Porto and 5 adrift of Liverpool, with AC Milan at the bottom, having lost all their games so far. Naby Keita will miss the match after injuring his hamstring, but fellow midfielders Fabinho and Thiago Alcantara have rejoined training and are in contention to play. Sayo, we're in for an exciting rematch, as exciting as the last one they played.
Absolutely. I'm expecting a lot of fireworks in tonight's encounter between Atletico Madrid and Liverpool. And guess what? It's going to be at Anfield. That atmosphere, you do not want to always go there. You don't want to go there. If the best of managers do Anfield, because the atmosphere is electrifying. So it remains to be seen anyway how Atletico are going to approach this game. Maybe defensively, using 3 at the back, it remains to be seen though.
Well, no matter what manager Liverpool play under, when playing at Anfield, their games, they seem to raise their games to a whole new stratosphere. As long as they're playing against a big, strong opposition, they're not going to take them lightly. That said, they've won the first match in Madrid. This return match in Anfield, Liverpool should win, but might Atletico Madrid pull a stunner?
Well, for this game, it's like a decider now, because if Liverpool wins this game, then the other 3 teams will be jostling for just one spot. So Atletico have it in their hands now to stop Liverpool, maybe with a draw or with a win of their own. Knowing with the fact that 2 weeks ago, Liverpool did one better than them in their own backyard. So it's something they can actually do. Yes, Atletico can do it. If there's any team that can stop them, it is Atletico Madrid in that group. Porto are trying. Yes, they cannot But it remains to be seen, though. But I think Atletico can stop Liverpool tonight.
Well, we've talked about a major Champions League game for today. Let's harken back to yesterday when Cristiano Ronaldo struck twice, including a stoppage time equalizer, as Manchester United came from behind twice to earn a 2-2 draw away to Atalanta in the Champions League on Tuesday, November 2nd. Atalanta took a 12th-minute lead when Duvan Zapata cut in from the left and fed Josip Ilicic, and the Slovenians' low drive crept under the body of United keeper David De Gea. United forced to reorganize after French defender Raphael Varane went off injured, drew level with a superbly worked goal on the stroke of halftime. Ronaldo firing home after a flowing exchange of passes, but the Bergamo side restored their advantage in the 56th minute when Zapata broke past Harry Maguire, burst into the box and beat De Gea. The linesman's flag was raised for the offside, but after a lengthy VAR review, the decision was overturned and the Italian side had the lead. Ronaldo then pounded on a loose ball on the edge of the box in the stoppage time and blasted home a volley to earn a precious point for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side. Ororo, 36, is still playing like a man sent out of hell to win every match. I wonder, how poorly would Manchester United be doing this season if Ronaldo had not come back?
Well, very poorly, you say. You want to take out Ronaldo's goals and compare where United would be right now as to where they are presently. I think United are sitting on top of the table presently because of Ronaldo's goals. Remember the double he scored against, in this same game, the other fixture in the first leg. He scored a double just yesterday again. He's been amazing. He's 36. He doesn't even need a preseason to get his season started at all. He
has 9 goals in 11 games in all competitions. He has scored in every group game of this season. Is he ever going to slow down?
I doubt it. That is the typical Ronaldo. The desire, the passion, the drive, the energy has never dwindled. He always is ready. He wants to score. He wants to get more. He wants to succeed. And that is what has been keeping him going all these years. He's never tired of his achievement. He doesn't look... No, it's like he has not even achieved anything. And that is just the way to go for United players. I think they should emulate this huge example from Cristiano Ronaldo.
All right, Sayo, thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure having you.
The pleasure is mine, Mukayo Tinubu. Thanks so much.
I leave you with Novak Djokovic, who returned to action at the Paris Masters with a tough 3-set win over Martin Fucsovics. Djokovic, who was playing in his first singles match since the US Open final, dropped the second set on the way to winning the match 6-2, 4-6, 6-3. The Serbian, who could finish the year as world #1 for a record 7th time, will face either Gael Monfils or Adriano Mannarino next. My name is Mukayo Tinubu. Remember, life is never boring with some sports.